We've all come to know and love Grand Theft Auto 5 for the hilarious plot, exciting shooting mechanics, and totally fun and completely not unstable and stupid online mode. Yeah, no one really likes that shit anyways. As I was saying, Grand Theft Auto has tons of airplanes and helicopters in most of the missions that you can play. It allows people to get around pretty fast and explore the map in new ways. While GTA 5 has existed for over a decade now, I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about the aviation aspect inside the story mode of the game. You might say to yourself though, what kind of asshole would critique a game that's clearly not made around aviation though? Well, it's definitely me. So let's get on with the video. Nervous Ron is actually the very first mission where we actually get to fly aircraft in the game. In the very beginning, this mission is kind of boring where we just get a sniper rifle and shoot some people before we get in the planes, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this. The first thing I want to mention is that Ron is probably an incredibly good pilot because he managed to start up the plane in a couple seconds, which I don't think I could do, or probably most skilled pilots out there could do also. If you decide not to shoot this guy right here, this will happen. If you don't have eyes, this guy just got blendered by a propeller. Now, in real life, if you got hit by a propeller like that, I feel like the exact same thing would happen, but the propeller would also get completely destroyed. In the next scene though, nothing appears to be damaged on the propeller. During nighttime operations in real life, white light is prohibited in the cockpit because your eyes will not be able to adjust to anything else. It would be more realistic if the light in that cockpit right there would be red. Let's think of this one logically. We're on top of the wing of an aircraft, being shot at by hundreds if not thousands of bullets. Where is fuel stored in the aircraft? In the wing, you're right. A huge fuel leak or even a fire would start, for sure, with all these bullets flying around. It seems like for the scene, Rockstar decided to actually disable the aileron animation, so this aileron would not actually clip into the guy we're trying to shake off. In real life though, since ailerons are connected via cables and pulleys, this aileron would still continue moving, or nothing would move at all. In this scene right here, where we're flying near the military base, and Ron states that we need to fly very low, so the air traffic controls could not see us on the radar, is not really a true statement at all. First of all, the air traffic control tower has a clear vision of both of our aircrafts flying, so they can see us. Also, our transponder and ADS-B data is probably still being signaled to the air traffic control's radar screen. So it is true that radar services cannot be given underneath a certain altitude. They can still see us and we're not quite as invisible as we think. That was about all the critiques that I could find for this mission. Overall, the mission was pretty decent. Some parts of the game were not accurate, but nothing in this mission made me get so pissed off I couldn't even play it anymore, so it's not terrible. In the Mission 3's company, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor help the F5B secure a hostage. The first issue that I immediately notice is that they secure the rope to the helicopter and not a building. This is a problem because any wind gust could push the helicopter from side to side and slam Michael into the building multiple amounts of times. Not to mention that the rope is completely still the entire time, which is hard to believe considering the skill you have to fly an aircraft that steady, which is just not even possible to do in real life. In real life, military helicopters have tons of armor on their windshield to stop rounds like this. Even higher caliber rounds could probably not penetrate the windshield. I'm not going to even sit here and entertain the idea that this would even happen in real life. This helicopter would definitely not just explode because of a couple of 5.56 rounds. This game severely underestimates how powerful helicopter rotor wash is. Those two people would definitely not be able to be standing, and that van in the background would definitely be blown over. I love how they make Trevor land in the worst possible spot also. There's huge power lines, there's a huge sign that anything could happen if the helicopter hit a downdraft or wind gust that pushed the aircraft from left to right. Overall, this mission was fine. Honestly, there was a ton of stuff that made the mission kind of hard to watch at some points, so I'm going to dock a couple points down, but it wasn't that bad either, and it was a fun mission to play, so I'd say it's okay. For this next mission, Michael needs to help convince a couple movie producers to help finish this movie with Solomon. Instead of using one of the 100 guns that Michael has on himself, he instead uses the helicopter to scare these people. Besides breaking a little bit of FAA regulations that no one gives a shit about, honestly, this mission was fine. Michael lands back at Solomon's place with the movie producers that are kinda startled. Even though I'm going to rank this mission high, you should take it with a grain of salt because it had little aviation content in it and it was a decently short mission. The next mission, we need to shoot down some plane or something. I don't really know. As you can see in the scene right here, we're looking at the left side of the aircraft, but then we shoot down the right engine, which is a little bit weird, but I'm not going to question it. This mission also has air traffic control with the pilot talking a bit, so let's actually listen to what he says first, then we can debrief it, I guess.
This is flight November 9er Charlie Echo. Our engine number 2 is blown. Roger, November 9er Charlie Echo. Fly heading 240. Say your souls on board. Flight November 9er Charlie Echo. Say your souls on board. 2 souls on board. Engine 2 totally lost. All hydraulics lost. All hydraulic systems are gone. Roger, November 9er Charlie Echo. Where are you putting it down? We're not gonna make the runway. We're gonna have to ditch this son of a bitch and hope for the best. Where are you putting it down? Can you make the Alamo Sea Airfield? Can't pull it round. We're gonna have to put it down in a field somewhere. We have no hydraulic systems, no elevator control, very little aileron control. Serious doubts of making a landing strip. Need to ditch. Roger, November 9 Charlie Echo. You lost your manual flight control systems. Pull your flaps.
While air traffic control correctly asked how many occupants they had on board, they forgot to ask how much fuel they have on board as well. Also, the radio comms are kind of messed up because no one ever says flight in front of the call sign. Total hydraulic failures are incredibly rare in aircraft and would only be caused by some sort of fragmentation into the aircraft. Ooh, this is actually really coincidental, but we did end up shooting the plane, and there's that one plane that recently just got shot down as well that lost its hydraulics. That's bad timing. Anyways, later you can hear the pilot saying there's only 2 occupants on board when he didn't even include himself. He's not even an occupant. In the crash site you can clearly see there's 3 people. Finally, the plane crashes and Trevor grabs his government documents. All in all, this mission was not that bad, but there were some parts that kind of confused me, like the decision not to just land at the big airport right behind him, but I guess it just can go down to no flight controls. Thank you guys so much for watching. Part 2 will come out soon.